Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm excited, very excited to bring you a really great interview today. And today we are talking with Sonia Anubis of several different bands. So she's out there in all kinds of different places, but most recently Cobra Spell. Sonia, hi, how are you doing? Introduce yourself, please.
Yes, so I'm doing pretty well. Quite a busy day behind my back, played a lot of guitar, and yeah, I'm doing good. So I'm Sonia Anubis and I play guitar.
Well, so I'm sure a lot of people out there already know you from a lot of previous work that you've done, and people may not realize that you're still so young and you've already had all of this great musical experience. I guess first of all, before we get into the bands, tell me how you got started with guitar.
So actually, I started as a bass player. It was my first string instrument, mainly because I was hugely inspired by Kiss. As you can see, I'm a big fan. By Gene Simmons. I just loved the way they perform live. It really inspired me. And that made me want to play bass guitar myself. A little bit later on, I started discovering more bands, a little bit more in the style of hard rock, heavy metal, and yeah, certainly like bands like Wasp, Alice Cooper, the shock rock kind of bands. And from there, it started getting a little bit heavier and heavier. And I realized there were a lot of cool guitar solos, certainly in thrash metal. I was listening to a lot of Marty Freeman, and yeah, he used to play in Megadeth, and the solos he had there were very inspiring to me. And that made me kind of consider maybe I should also additionally start playing the guitar, which I did, even though I've always been mainly a bass player and played in many, many local bands as a bass player. Yet it's only later on that I decided to make guitar my main instrument naturally because of the way things went. Pretty much, I still play bass, though I practice a lot of more guitar now.
Well, actually, I think you're being very modest here. So to listen to you play the guitar, nobody would probably guess that that wasn't your main instrument all along. You are what I would consider one of the best guitarists out there right now, male or female.
Thank you so
And
much.
yes, so for people to know that you first started somewhere else and thought, oh, I think I'll pick up the guitar now, and that would probably be shocking to hear, I think.
It wasn't really a choice or something. It really was the opportunities that what I was getting in my musical career. I really started playing, as I said, many bands as a bass player, and then on the side, I would say I was kind of like a bedroom guitar player. I was just playing in my bedroom, sharing videos on the internet of me playing along to some songs. I was just doing the guitar for fun and doing the bass like my main thing. I really thought that in the future I would mainly be a bass player. And just when I realized that Burning Witches was interested in having me auditioning, that's when I actually had to make a switch, kind of. It was not that I wanted or anything, but I kind of did. And I realized that guitar is an instrument that fits very well with my personality. I love the bass, even though when I was a bass player, I really used to like to be on the front, which was always it kind of looked a little bit out of place, even though I think it's pretty cool when you have lead bass. But it was just not fitting in the bands that I was playing in before. And yeah, being part of Burning Witches as a lead guitar player was something that made me consider actually this instrument is something that I really should be doing a lot more. And every time I've had a new opportunity in my life, I learned a lot about myself. And this is why I've been in so many different bands. It was every time trying to discover if it fits me, if learning new experiences, and in that way realizing what I want to do with my future.
Again, I'm going to call you for being modest here, saying that you've been in a bunch of different bands, not just in a bunch of different bands, but a bunch of really good bands. Of course, Burning Witches Absolutely amazing band there. And Crypta, if you have not, anybody out there, if you've not heard that, if you're not really a big death metal kind of person, go listen to that. It is really amazing. And then a third completely different sound now with Cobra Spell. So your guitar playing and the style of the music that you're playing has really changed a lot from band to band as well.
Well, I have to say, I've always stayed to my style. You know, I am a very melodic guitar player. From when I compose my own stuff, everything always comes out very melodic, I realized. And something that I've never compromised are the solos. For example, in the solo moments, I always stayed to what I like, the neoclassical sounding stuff. As for composition of songs, it definitely, this is, for example, something that I've tried to, whenever I joined or started a band, for example, with Crypta, for me, it was a new experience to not play death metal, but write death metal music. I do have a passion for death metal, even though it doesn't look like that. I've been playing in many, many death metal bands in the past. So I already had the affinity of death metal, even though I never composed it before. And for me, that felt like a very fun challenge. So Crypta kind of is like the first material that I've written in the death metal style. With Cobra Spell, it's more like hard rock, heavy metal. Since that music is my favorite music, it's supernatural for me to compose that kind of music. It really flows, and that's what I also chose to fully commit to Cobra Spell, because for me it's like a very safe place composition wise.
I definitely hear what you're talking about with having that melodic guitar sound through all of the different bands you've been in. And even that's what I was, the last time I was listening to Crypta, I thought to myself, that has that sound, because some death metal bands, it's just about punching you right in the face. And it's kind of the same sounding guitar the whole way through. But I really love the stuff that has that melodic sound to it, something just a little bit more interesting for the ear. And I think you've definitely got that in that band as well.
Thank you. So yeah, this was something that I tried to bring in Crypta. Of course, I was limited to a certain extent, and which I very much understand, obviously. Crypta is a death metal band. And besides that, we were composing 4 of us together. So it's a shared effort, which means that sometimes you will have to compromise your own style of composing, which is completely fine. Though it was limiting me a little bit. So I kind of had to hold back sometimes. And yet the melodies just sometimes are there or will be used for something else. Yeah.
So interesting for people to hear that you went from this death metal band into this more hard rock, almost glam metal sounding band with Cobra Spell. And that's a band that you started, correct?
Well, I didn't really make a transition. Cobra Spell was earlier announced in Crypta. It exists a little bit longer. Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah. A lot of people think that I jumped from band to band, but that's actually not true. Back when I was in Burning Witches, Crypta already existed, Cobra Spell already existed. Everyone in Burning Witches knew that I started these bands. Back when we were even low key, when the band was not announced, a year before it was announced, the band knew that I started these side projects. So it was existing for quite a long time already. And yeah, Cobra Spell was there a little bit earlier. And it was kind of like the band that I wanted to have since a very long time, and never really proceeded to start, because I've always joined bands where there was already a concept, or there was already an idea behind it, which was not my dream or anything. I mean, obviously it's my dream to make it as a musician, but it was already a concept that was created by someone else's dream, which it's fine, because I can learn a lot from experiencing other people's bands, even though I wanted to do my own thing too. And Cobra Spell is that place for me, you know, together with guitar player Sebastian Silva, who is not in the band anymore, but we founded Cobra Spell. And yeah, that's how we started creating songs together, really. I was kind of like doing all the compositions, and he would do the lyrics together with me. We would like share the do the lyrics, and yeah, that's how the first EP went, pretty much. And yeah, I really felt like I felt very, very good in Cobra Spell because of the freedom of composition, pretty much. And also because I was really doing something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time. You know, my dream as a starting musician was to be in this superhero like heavy metal band like Kiss, you know, like, and playing like over the top stage performances like David Lee Roth, you know, Whitesnake. I really wanted to do that kind of stuff, though. Yeah, I never really thought about myself in that. I was thinking, okay, what I want to do comes later. You know, I will just like do what must be good for me, which is being in other bands, you know, playing, getting out there, and my thing will come later. And yeah, I'm now at the point after many years of guitar playing that I think I just want to do my own thing. And because I feel like it's better for me and it's better for the other bands that I've been in, you know. So that's it.
Wow. So I didn't know that you actually were doing all of these things kind of around the same time, which made you even busier.
It was insane. Let me tell you that. Yeah, it was truly, truly a lot of work, a lot of work, a lot of work. And a lot of people don't see that. And they say a lot of stuff like, why do you leave Crypta? Why do you do that? You know, I'm not superwoman. You know, I cannot force myself to write so many music at once. You know, Crypta has a label, there's deadlines. Cobra Spell is having a lot of big opportunities that I had to say no to because of I was in Crypta, and you know, it was just too many things that I had to make too many difficult choices for, and that's something I don't want to do. I don't want to have these difficult choices, and besides that, I don't want to hold back anyone in that I'm working with in a band. You know, I cannot say to one very big opportunity with all the band members say no because I have to do it with my other band. It was just painful, and I just wanted to choose what makes me the happiest. And what makes me the happiest is playing Cobra Spell. And yeah, of course, Crypta is doing amazing, and they're playing big stages, way bigger than what I'm playing right now, and that's perfectly fine. You know, I am so happy for them, but I much rather do my own thing. I just want to enjoy playing music, and it doesn't matter to me if it's becomes popular or not, as long as I really feel like I'm doing what makes me happy, pretty much.
Well, I think you might actually be Superwoman, but we'll we'll let that go. So tell me about some of your guitar influences. I know you've talked about Marty, and I've seen you wearing some different shirts in some of your pictures. I think I saw a Dawkins shirt. I think I saw a Rising Force shirt even. There you go. So tell me about some of the guitarists, I guess, who, there it is. I love that album. That's a great album.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge, huge fan of 80s guitar shredders, obviously, like a lot of 80s guitar players such as Jason Becker, Van Halen, Tony McAlpine, Marty Freeman, you name it, all those Sharpnel. I don't know if you know the label Sharpnel. They had this very shreddy guitar players back in the 80s, and kind of that whole scene inspired me a lot on my guitar playing. Obviously, I'm far away from the skills that they used to have, but they influence a lot on the melodic approach of guitar playing, which is like a little bit neoclassical. Yeah, kind of those guitar players have been inspiring me a lot since the beginning. But recently I've been really into trying to simplify my guitar playing a little bit, or at least know when, you know, more is more, yes, just like Amy Malmsteen says, but sometimes it's good to leave out a note. And I'm trying to learn how to do that because it's kind of hard to do that. And by that, I've been listening to a lot of, more bluesy kind of guitar players. So yeah, I'm trying to expand my horizon still.
I think that's a good point with the bluesy guitar players. People sometimes have a lot of negative things to say about the 80s, early 90s rock, glam metal, or whatever you'd like to call it. But there were some really great guitar players in there, really bluesy guitar players. And I think that gets overlooked sometimes.
It does. It does. I think we can learn from every single style of guitar playing something. I'm very open-minded when it comes to music styles, even outside of the heavy metal and rock. And I like to listen to a lot of different music. I believe you can take a lot from other styles, get a lot of inspiration. Yeah, and my main inspirations go actually in the music from the 80s, mainly in that decade. There is a lot of interesting music, in my opinion, because it was all so melodic, so extremely melodic, and I like that.
Well, I guess now let's talk a little bit. Let's get into some actual Cobra Spell talk here. So Anthems of the Night is it's a nice EP. Can you just tell me about how this one kind of came together with the songwriting and how it all got put together?
Yes, so Anthems of the Night was released previous year, and it's a 4-track EP, mainly kind of like a hybrid mixture of heavy metal, hard rock, and a little bit of speed metal, I would say. Yeah, it's definitely every single song features kind of a style from the 80s, in my opinion. And yeah, the compositions were made by myself. So and the lyrics were per song differently. So we have, for example, Addicted to the Night, which the lyrics were done by myself and Angelina. And the other song's lyrics were done by Sebastian and myself. So it's like a little bit of a shared effort there. Yeah, that's kind of how it went. And yeah, I think definitely the EP is for fans of, let me think, Rat, Dokken, Kiss, more, also a little bit of Scorpions, I think. There's a lot of 80s influences in there, absolutely, yeah.
Is there any song there that is your favorite?
Yes, I am kind of in between the Midnight Hour and Addicted to the Night, even though I have to say that Addicted to the Night has a very special place for me, certainly also because of the lyrics. I've been able to write those lyrics together with Angelina, and they have a meaning, a special meaning for me. And besides that, it's such a fun song to play live because it's a bit faster. I just love playing faster songs, and it has a lot of cool guitar lines. Like there's a lot of these techniques that I use a lot in guitar playing. It's just very fun. Yeah.
So I guess we didn't really talk about the rest of the band yet, but tell me about some of these ladies in the band with you and kind of how you got them, how you chose them.
Yes, so we very recently announced a new lineup. Since Cobra Spell before was kind of like a side project, and we didn't really take it that much seriously until some months ago when we started really touring, and we had to make a change because it seemed like the lineup was not functional on tour. There were a lot of things going wrong behind the scenes, and that was very, very disappointing. But yeah, regarding with that experience, I've been looking together with Angelina and Christina, which is the singer, for new members that are into the genre, that have the same passion and really want to make it. And yeah, right now we have an amazing lineup. We have played already some shows together. We have rehearsed together. We have spent quite some time together, even in the studio. Like we have recorded together, and the how to say, the connection, there is a very big connection between us. Like there is a lot of magic going on. Also on stage, people see that the last shows that we had, we have gotten a lot of positive feedback. You know, the other guitar, I'm gonna name them. So we have Christina Vega on vocals, Jess on drums, Noeli Dos Anjos on rhythm guitar, even though she also plays leads. She likes to say rhythm, but I like to say that she's also a lead guitar player because she has a solo. And we have Angelina Vejera on the bass and myself on lead guitar. So we are 5-piece still, just this time all female.
Actually, so I kind of have two questions that come out of what you just said. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to Christina, your singer. What a really amazing, unique voice.
Yes.
It just, that's one of the things that sets you apart, I think, as a band as well. Just a completely very distinctive voice.
She has a lot of power in the voice, you know, and I am very happy about what our previous singer did, you know, and he had also an amazing voice. They just have different voices, like the previous singer and Christina. So what I like about Christina, though, is that she has a very deep voice, and that inspires me a lot in you know, in creating more hard rock kind of, you know, Vixen style songs, you know, because she has this very, I don't know, it's very cool. I love her singing. Yeah.
With that, let me ask you again. So you have worked with a lot of female musicians across all of your bands. Is that something that you've done on purpose? You've chosen to work with female musicians?
Yeah, so I honestly, in the beginning of Cobra Spell, I really didn't care that much about if it was men or women, you know. It was a hybrid. We were hybrid in the beginning. We had two female and 3 male in the beginning, and then we had three female and then 2 male. It was really like whoever we could find. But yeah, the decision to make Cobra Spell all female came mainly because indeed I have a lot of experience working with women in metal, you know, Burning Witches in Crypta. And certainly in Crypta, I've seen the effect it has had on young women, on girls that wanted to start playing music because of our music. And this by just releasing one album with a band, and people were so enthusiastic, and all these girls that were sending me messages, the impact it had was truly very heartwarming to me. It was really like, wow, how is this possible? You know, how this is very special that I can do this with a band, you know, that I can inspire young girls to also become a musician. You know, this, I always wondered, how can we get more women in metal? And it's pretty much by, you know, promoting female musicians that we are able to do this. And, you know, that's why I kind of thought, okay, this is an opportunity for me to, you know, make Cobra Spell all female and, you know, have this effect, hopefully a little bit more, you know. It's good that there's every time a little bit more all female bands. There is not many at all, like there's way too little, but that's why I think, you know, we need in this, certainly in this style of music, you know, and this more sleazy hard rock heavy metal, I have not seen a cool authentic 80s band in like Vixen, but new, like from this day. So yeah, I think it was pretty cool to do that. And there's a special thing about working with women, like you understand each other a little bit better with, you know, women things. Somehow they're a little bit more like emotional sometimes, and I really like that, you know, because I can kind of connect very easily with that. And yeah, it's just, I would say I really like working with women.
I think right now is a very exciting time for women in metal and women in rock. It seems like there are a lot of bands out there really, you know, kind of pushing for that equality, because it has been a male-dominated type of sound for a long time.
It is. It is, and there's still a lot of you know, unbalance in the genre, and you know, we really have to make a statement. You know, I think we have to help other female musicians to get out there, and it's good to promote that. I really think it's all right to give extra exposure to women, to women in the metal. So that's why I also really like to, you know, I follow a lot of female musicians on my social media. I try to share their stuff. Before I also felt like a responsibility to help out other musicians. That's why there always has been like a female musician that I've been involved with. So I really enjoy that.
I think one of the best things for female musicians is getting out there and playing live in front of people who have maybe never seen them before. Festivals are a great thing. I actually saw Burning Witches this summer on their first US tour here. They opened for a festival, kind of an 80s metal festival. And I got right up there in front of the stage. I was so excited to see them play live. And I can tell you that a lot of the people there didn't know who they were, but they left after that set thinking, wow, that's really incredible. And I think that really helps the exposure overall for all female metal bands.
Right. I mean, it helps for every single band to play out there and show yourself. And, you know, there is indeed not many live female musicians. And yeah, I mean, it's good that we get out there. Yeah.
Is that something you find after your shows when you get to maybe hear feedback from fans like, wow, I had never heard you guys before. I didn't really know too much about you, but you blew me away, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, and a lot of people indeed say that kind of stuff, and they're impressed that it's like females playing guitar. And yeah, but I've also had sometimes negative experiences, you know, I've said of people saying, you know, oh, why are you grabbing that guitar before the show? Mostly like, why are you there on stage? Like, and then they see the show and they silence themselves, you know, like they kind of, I don't know what to say, a little bit disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Well,
happens.
I think that's.
But I also realized, for example, when I put live videos of myself on my social media, I sometimes do it and people are very, very impressed because they sometimes only know the Sonia that has videos on YouTube or Facebook, and then they see that I'm actually also a live musician, and which is different, of course, because you're not just recording yourself at home, which can be a little bit easier. Live is like you can make a lot of mistakes. You're just playing there, and you know, people see that, and I think it impresses them also. Yeah.
Good. Well, just in case people don't know, you actually do tutorials or lessons, correct?
That's right. I'm also a guitar teacher. Yeah, I do them for all ages, all levels, and through Skype. So anywhere in the world.
Wow. So people can get in touch with you if they want some guitar lessons.
Yes. So for interest, they can email me to soniaanubisofficial@gmail.com. So through my email, if you can't find the email, then it's also on my website and pretty much everywhere. Very easy to find.
Yeah. I will put that email in the description of this video for you as well. I guess one last thing we'll talk about here as we wrap up. Let's talk about touring. We've talked a little bit here and there about playing live. And you just got back from playing some live shows, correct?
That's right. You know, we have had quite some busy months behind our backs. And right now we're taking it a little bit easier, certainly, because we are currently negotiating for Cobra Spell or something. Cannot reveal that much about it. But yeah, we are working on it. I was also taking a lot of time to really settle the lineup, you know, be sure that I'm working with the right people, be sure that they can take the musician life. You know, I really took the time to do that. And now I just want to take the time to write music, plan the next year, and see what is gonna happen. I'm taking it easy. Yeah, but here and there we're gonna do a few shows this year and obviously the beginning of next year. But we are working hard on planning the future as good as we can and working on an album. We do have a little surprise coming. By the way, we have a little surprise this or next month, but I cannot tell. Everyone has to follow us on social media and they might discover something new.
Oh, very exciting, very exciting. Well, you took care of one of my other questions about if you're working on new music. Obviously you are.
Yes.
So very excited to hear that. Any chance, I know you love Kiss and you talked about Alice Cooper and things like that. Any chance Cobra Spell puts on the makeup at any point? A video or something?
Good question, actually. I mean, we put on quite a lot of makeup though for like as a band, we have like this very feminine makeup we like to wear. Myself also, I always wear the same kind of makeup like for many years, always the same. But actually in the beginning of Cobra Spell, we used to make this ex-Japan kind of makeup. Like at the very beginning, we have this promo pictures that were like that, but it was not really fitting the music in our opinion. So we kind of took it back, but I don't think it will happen, but who knows,
Good. Actually, interesting. I just saw Alice Cooper last week. First time I ever saw him. Such a good show. Amazing show. Yeah.
Yeah, mind blowing. The age that he has, he's quite an old man, and the show that he's giving, absolutely amazing. So inspiring to me. So inspiring. Yeah, he is amazing. And so is the rest of the band. Yeah, I saw them with Nita Strauss. Nita Strauss right now is not playing with them temporarily, I think. But I saw them with Nita Strauss, and Nita Strauss is also a mind-blowing guitar player, female guitar player, such a skill. The show they're giving, all the performances, like all these show props, I just love that.
So that's really the last real question I have for you. But I do have one more, and I kind of like to ask everybody, is there something that I did not ask you that you really wish I would have asked?
Honestly, I don't really think so, but let me think about something special. Maybe what guitar I use or something.
Well, I think I've noticed that you're a Jackson fan, if I'm
right. Yeah, I really love Jacksons, and I have one right next to me. This is the first one that I've ever owned.
Wow.
Yes, and it's the Raven Warrior. I put that name to the guitar, and it's quite used already. It's been used in every single Burning Witches show pretty much, because it was my only guitar that I had, so I was always playing with the same one. And I also played it with the only show that I played with Crypta, and with many recordings. It's being recorded, all the whole album of Crypta has been recorded with this guitar, all the rhythms.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like it has its history. All the solos that I've played with Burning Witches, every single recording excluding the Cobra Spell ones has been done on that guitar.
Well, let's give Jackson a shout out here, because I also am a Jackson fan myself personally. What do you love about Jackson? Is it the tone, the look, all of it?
I think all of it, really, pretty much. Honestly, I've only played the Warrior models, so I cannot speak about the other models, but I really like the quality of the guitars that I'm playing. They're light. This is very important for me because I have a lot of trouble with my neck, and playing a light ergonomic guitar is very good for me. And the guitars of Jackson, they balance very well. They're light to the play. They have a good metal sound. The headstocks play very easy for me. I really like when they're a little bit feeling like flat. I'm not very good technically, so I kind of talk in very abstract terms, but it feels very flat to my hands, so I can kind of reach very easily. And I like the head up. Some of the Jacksons have a head up, and I really think it looks so old school, just like the guitar players from the 80s. And I always had something for X guitar shaped guitars when I was younger, and I discovered the Warrior, and I kind of never went back to any other shape. So I've been collecting them for a while already.
Well, I like that you mentioned how easy it is, how lightweight it is, because if anybody has not seen a picture or a video of you playing live or in a video, you move around
I
when you're
move.
playing.
Yes. Oh, you can put it in such crazy, like a thing about the warrior. It has, you know, you can kind of like put it in funny ways. And just like you have the guitar players with the flying V, they can put it on their left leg. Well, with this one, it has even more possibilities because it has more, it's an X-shaped guitar. So it gives me a lot of possibilities for different kind of crazy moves on stage. And that's what I also like about the Warrior. I can also hold it like that. You can make a lot of cool stuff with it.
Good. Well, if anybody has not seen you play live or a video of it, I encourage that because you're putting all of your energy out there when you're on stage.
Thank you.
Well, that's all of the questions I have for you today. I thank you so much for taking the time to talk. Anybody out there watching, if you have not heard Cobra Spell or Crypta or any other thing that Sonia has been in, please go check that out. I think you will be very happy that you did. If you get a chance to go support them live, please do that as well. Sonia, thank you again for taking the time here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for the questions, and thanks for everyone that is watching. And yes, I have nothing to say, just that we have a very special thing coming in the coming month, maybe the next month. Cannot reveal too much yet, but you can stay tuned to our social media channels of Cobra Spell. So everything Cobra Spell on Instagram, Cobra Spell on YouTube, on Facebook. And we will be teasing here and there, but it's coming very soon.
All right, very exciting. Thank you again so much. Everybody check that out. Sonia, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.